preseason, we're all very optimistic. I think all coaches are. And Ralph is correct, Mike and Barry. We've got a talented group. It's young. That's the interesting thing for us. Out of the 29 or 30 kids that will carry on varsity, we are really dealing with 11 sophomores that will play on the varsity level. So while they're athletic, there's going to be the growing pains associated with their experience, I think. But you know, it's not going to be from a lack of effort. I think it's just going to be the adjustment periods that they have to go through.
But you have some experienced guys. I mean, we got Brandon Gonzalez and Gregson. You got Nolan Tisdale, quarterback. So that's got to be feeling good.
Yeah, and that is, you know, they're going to have to carry us, I think, for that initial period where those young guys are making the adjustment. You know, last year we were young in that regard. You know, we had kids at skill positions that were in their first year or still relatively young, and now those kids are experienced kids. So besides you know, Vince Figueroa and Bruce Garcia and Andrew Sase, who got hurt last year, we lost those kids at graduation. But other than that, I mean, our skill kids on offense as well as our entire secondary essentially are back this year. So we have to rely upon the seniors to give us some stability, you know, as those other kids go through their growing pains.
What makes Gonzalez so effective on the field?
You know, Mike, he's just hard-nosed. I mean, you know, you guys have both seen him play, and he's strong. He's just physically strong, but he's also very mentally tough. And so he's one of those kids that when he makes up his mind that he doesn't want to go down, he is really going to struggle to stay up and get the extra yardage and so forth. So he's, in my view, he's a little bit of a throwback type runner who's kind of a north-south sort of kid as opposed to the scat backs that we tend to see on the highlight tapes and so forth. Brandon, you know, you're talking about a kid that as a sophomore, there were games where he got the ball probably 25 times as a sophomore. So as a senior, hopefully we've developed enough around Brandon that while he will certainly carry a load, it won't be you know, a severe load that, and as he's physically mature, he can, I think, handle whatever we throw at him.
I feel really good about this year. We have a lot of talent, a lot of sophomores, juniors, but our senior core is really strong right now, and we have just a good overall team right now, so I feel pretty positive right now.
What did you guys take from the playoff loss last year against Sierra Canyon?
And it was a tough loss. You know, we didn't really expect it to go out that way, but we got the talent, the skill, and we got the experience more. So I think we're going to be more ready this year.
Yeah, taste of the playoffs, and you want to get back. Right?
Exactly, yeah, we want it more this year.
How does it feel like to have Nolan, you know, pretty much came in out of the cold last year, but he really seemed very composed now this year with a year under his belt? What do you think?
I'm glad he came out, and he's done really great. I can't ask for a better quarterback than him right now. And he's good, he's confident, and he doesn't back down from anybody.
What can you say about the development of Nolan Tisdale?
He just is consistent in his mental approach to things, and he can make a bad play, but the sign of a good quarterback, I think, is how they respond when something doesn't go their way. And Nolan is at a level where he really has a real stability to the way he plays. And this summer he was excellent in our passing league work that we did. And he's really got the confidence of the kids behind him, which is also pretty critical. So we're looking forward.
Yeah, he was always very composed in games.
Yeah, and you know, we fell short in a couple games last year where, you know, proverbial the clock ran out sort of thing. But you know, Nolan under stress and a couple fourth quarters brought us back into games with no huddle and so forth, and I think that he's a kid that has a kind of inner strength that you really want in pressure situations, and I think he'll be better even this year.
Sounds like he's going to have some...
How do you feel about this team coming into your senior year?
I feel really good. I feel like every single game we should win if we execute. So realistically, I mean, every game's winnable. So I feel really good about it.
What about the talent around you this year?
The talent is really good. All our senior skill positions are coming back. We got Brandon at tailback, Paul, Nick Mon at receiver, Sam Kwok at receiver. Got a lot of weapons out there that I can utilize.
I mean, with Brandon in the backfield, that's going to be really nice. I mean, talk about someone you can always rely on.
Oh yeah, he's a powerful running back. I always trust him. He's been in the system for 4 years now. He's started on varsity as a freshman. Yeah, I trust him a lot.
What about up front, Coach? Do you have experience on the front line to get this offense moving?
Well, in all honesty, I mean, it's always a numbers game for us roster-wise in terms of our line, and that's really the key, I think, to how we do this season. The good news for us is, you know, we returned Mike Winowitzer at center, and Michael played some as a sophomore at center and played, you know, of course, last year before Santa Ynez, about a week and a half before the game, he broke his hand, so we missed him for that game, and then he came back in and probably as an unsung hero, snapped with his opposite hand for most of the season. I think it was game 9 where he was able to finally switch back and snap with his broken hand, and he was padded up and so forth. But Mike is a real stable sort of kid himself and very, very bright. We also return our strong guard, Keegan Araujo, who is only going to be a junior this year, but maybe our strongest kid on the squad. And then Tom Rennick will be in his 3rd year starting at tackle for us. So we return 3 starters on the offensive line, and then we've got, you know, 4 guys that we think are pretty even that can come in and play the other spots for us. And you know, continuity on the offensive line is really the key, I think, for offensive success. So we've really been emphasizing that a lot.
Defensive side of the ball, Tom, who do you got there? You got leaders, you got Paul Garcia, right?
Paul's back at the safety spot for us, so we get some, as I mentioned, we got pretty good experience. Both our corners from last year that started, Nick Mon and Troy Skinner, are back, starting for us. Gabe Molina, who played for us as a freshman and started many of our games in the last half of the season as a strong safety. Gabe is back, and then of course Paul, who really is in his 3rd year starting for us. So we've got a lot of experience there. We've got a lot of experience at defensive end. Tom Rennick, again, was both a two-way guy for us, so he's 3 years at the defensive end spot, like his brother David was back in the 2006 and 2007. And Reese Moulton played a lot for us at the defensive end on the other side last year, and so Reese is back as well. The area where we lost people last year was the loss of Figueroa and Garcia as inside backers, and they had multiple years starting for us.
Right.
So going into getting contact, my concern was a little bit about, you know, how aggressive we would be and how we would look. And I can tell you, at least in our intra-squad stuff, I feel a lot better after watching us go. I mean, our inside guys include a lot of sophomores, but Tom Rennick, the D-end, because of his athleticism, we've moved him a little bit to inside backer. He's played there a little bit. Nolan Tooley is a sophomore, big kid, about 6'2", 190 as a sophomore. He was a defensive end, but he's playing inside backer now and looking good. Christian Pearson was a starting inside backer for us on our JV team, as was Thomas Lash. They both are there. And then, of course, we have Jack Rakeson, who started as a sophomore as an outside backer for us, and then he backed up Brandon.
Right.
And Jack is back. So, as I said, what we lack in experience, I think we have pretty good speed at the backer position, what we've seen so far as they get to the football. Last year we finally got back on track. We had the 2 years where we struggled, and then last year we got back into the playoffs and kind of reestablished what has been our mantra, which is that, you know, you should expect to be in the playoffs. You're not hoping to be there, you should expect to be there. And I think with this group of kids, they realize that there's enough depth and talent that it's important to really invest. And we've had great commitment through the summer, and through fall camp we've had great commitment with these kids so far. And you know, we're keeping our fingers that we stay healthy.